keep this leaf as simple as possible, avoid just hollowing out the leaves. Give them some sort of body, some sort of shape. We'll start by separating off the stalk here. So we can run a V tool, just as we did before for the lining in, down towards the tip, and on the other side, down towards the tip here. So that now separates out the stem. So now we can give some shape to the leaves, to the leaf itself. So you can start rounding this over by turning the tool upside down here. So keeping this fairly rounded like this. So I can work downhill here, cleaning off the paper and taking care not to stab into the background. Here we'll just round over the inside of the where it meets the leaf, where it meets the stalk itself, and the bit in the middle we can just dress off. This is a low relief carving, so there's not a lot of wood to come away. So clean off that paper now. This won't hurt the chisel at all. Round here on this side you can come this way round. And again clean off the paper. If you find yourself going against the grain, in other words the wood is digging up, the thing to do is to just reverse the direction and do that fairly quickly. Don't work, if the grain is pulling up, don't keep working against it because it won't get any better. So here's the surface of the leaf, rounding over. So we've got a bit of roundness in the shape here. But this front end, the top end here, what we could do is we could start hollowing that out by just giving a little bit of a twist there. So it's not all the same all over. And then the centre, we can do this on the other side, and the centre vein, if we just round this over by again turning a tool upside down and just skimming that off on both sides. This end as well. Now if that's not quite clean in this line here, you can just come back with your V tool, just quietly just clean that line up. So do it on one side and then you can start working the same sort of thing on the other. So rounding over here and then curving it into this way here. So this leaf is not being undercut, this one. We'll just come to just above the surface. So we're just left with a little edge down to the background. Of course we've cut off all the paper from the carving, so I've gone back to my drawing to look at the details, which in this case are just the veins, and I've redrawn those in from my working drawing. And now I'm going to put these veins in, which are simple strokes, and you can do it either from the inside out, like so, or you can do it from the outside in like that. It's probably easier to do it this way, because you can just taper off without having to worry about bumping into the stem. So few is or less is more. So put a few of these on here, and our leaf is finished. I want to show you the difference between an oil finish, such as what's in this bottle, which is a linseed oil turpentine mix, and a wax finish, such as here in this jar. This is all finished from the chisel, so you've got to make sure all the faults, any tears are cleaned up, because oil will bring out the grain more, will darken the wood, and will show any tears, any torn grain, anything like this. So I'm putting this on with a brush, and I'll let that soak in, coming up to the edge of the leaf. So I'm going to make this the background. It's going to be oiled. So I'm putting this on with a brush, and then I'll wipe off excess. So I come right up to the edge of the leaf very carefully. And over here. Now when you put linseed oil on, or this sort of oil, it does look quite yellow, and it takes a while for the wood to actually mellow. So you put this on all around the edge, and you can put a couple of coats on. It'll soak in, and then you wipe off the excess. So now wipe off the excess with the rag, like this. So that would be an oil finish on the background, and you'll see that the grain will come out a bit more, the fibres. For the wax, you can rub a little bit of the wax on here, like this, and then what you need is a hairdryer to melt the wax. The reason we use a hairdryer is because we want to warm the pores up of the wood, let the wax soak in, and then we can wipe off excess. And you can see immediately, I think, that the colours are different. And this will be more accentuated as the wood darkens. The oil will go richer, darker colour, and the wax will stay a bit lighter. So with that, there's our first leaf finished.